G'day, and welcome to Raniko and Jaranth play Star Realms. It's a game by White Wizard Games. It's kind of a mix between a dueling game like, I guess, Magic the Gathering or that kind of thing, and um, a deck building game like Dominion. So I thought it would be a fun thing to basically have a video on Star Realms where you get to see both sides. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to do my turn, and I'm going to give the reasoning for why I'm making my decisions, and then this video, as long as I'm doing things correctly, should suddenly swap to Jaranth, who will do his turn and also be giving you like his reasoning, and hopefully at the end of this you will have a good idea as to not only how the game works, but how Jaranth and I work as well. So here's the game. We've just started. I'm the first player. So the first player means I only get 3 cards. So I've got 1 damage and 2 money. And here's the rest of the deck. So since I've only got 2 coins, I want to basically try to make the most of it. Right now, I tend to like either getting more money or the ability to thin out my deck, because these cards are pretty crap, honestly. So what I'm going to do in this case, because the Fed Shuttle is on the board, is I'm going to grab this, and then of these options, I've only got 1 more coin left. I'm going to grab the Blob Fighter because I have a tendency to buy a lot of blob cards. I like the way that they have a lot of draw and they have a lot of damage. They're not so great for getting money, which I do kind of need at the start of this game, but that's what I'm going to do, and that'll be my turn. So my prediction here is that Jaranth, because Jaranth starts with 5 cards, he can have anywhere between 3 and 5 coins. If he has 4 coins, I predict he's going to grab the recycling station. If he has 5 coins, I'm not actually sure what he'll do. He may get the recycling station and Imperial Fighter. If he has 3 coins, which is the least he can have, I'm guessing he's going to grab a missile bot so he can thin out his deck, and then maybe the Imperial Fighter. It depends what comes up. I'm going to hit him for 1, so he's got 50 HP. Now he's only got 49. And then next turn, so I always try and work out what I'm going to do, assuming that Jaranth doesn't ruin everything. Next turn, I am going to have at least 5 coins, and in fact, I'll know what I've got next turn as soon as I hit this end turn button. So my plan, I've got 4 coins. My plan is to either buy the recycling station or the space station. There is no way that I can't do at least one of these things. So now, I'll turn it over to Jaranth, and we will see what happens.
Hello Internet. For those of you that don't know me yet, I am Jaranth, fully one half of the duo behind Ninja Blues, writer of Indies Wonderland, Let's Player, Ruthless Space Tyrant, Invincible, Amazing, Save It in Your Phone. The fact that I'm going second means that I can pretty safely assume that Raniko has already explained to you what the deal with this is. From my end, Raniko approached me with the idea of doing a video series about Star Realms, a game that I have been playing more or less every day for the past 4 or 5 months or so. And I don't know why I haven't already done anything with Star Realms, but this seemed like a pretty cool idea. So, we'll be trying to take you through our decision making, and I will also be trying to crush Raniko like a bug while doing so. It may or may not work because of all the people that I regularly play. For some reason, Raniko is most apt at beating me every time. So, my strategy is usually pretty dependent on what's on the board. I can see that Raniko, lucky bastard that he is, got a Federation Shuttle and a Blob Fighter early on, which is a pretty good opening. Unfortunately for him, right now there's only red and yellow on the board, which works in my favor a little bit. So I could either... there's 2 things that I see I could be doing. I could go for either the Missile Bot and the Imperial Fighter and then see what pops up. And if nothing pops up, I could get an Explorer. I could also get the recycling station or the space station. Now, the space station is pretty nice. I like the Star Empire, the yellow faction. And a lot of Star Empire early on can really mess up someone's day because they can dish out a lot of damage and a lot of discarding very quickly. That said, the recycling station is one of those cards that I try to get as soon as I can get it. It is so powerful in the right hands, and even early in the game, it's still, even if you have nothing to cycle to, for those of you that are more intimately familiar with the cards. Can I zoom in? This is the first time I'm actually playing it on a PC. Those of you that are not infinitely familiar with the cards, the recycling station allows you to either get one trade, which is the equivalent of a basic scout unit, or to discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. It's also an outpost with 4 defense, which is pretty good in its own right. So the recycling station allows you to get to your good cards earlier without having to throw them out with red cards. And if you don't have any good cards to get to, it's basically still a scout. So that's what I'm going to be doing for turn 1, getting the recycling station and seeing that, see, this is what I dislike. Looking at the board right now, I can see that Missile Bot and 2 Imperial Fighters would also have been a really good choice. And I'm very afraid that Ravnica will now be going for those Imperial Fighters. Or at least for the Missile Bot. If Ravnica goes for the Missile Bot, I can snatch up the Fighters and maybe the Space Station. But that's something that we'll see for next turn. So let's end turn 1 by booping Ravnica for 1 authority. Ending my turn, seeing that I'm going to get exactly the same hand as just now. And it's back to Ravnica.
Alright, so it's back to me. And that's about what I expected. Jareth bought the recycling station. He does tend to go for things that let him draw more cards. Just reviewing what I've got, because it's been a little bit since I played, and I'm going to buy the space station. Because I can sacrifice the space station for more cash. I suspect now that Jareth is likely to buy up probably the shuttle and the missile bot. It's a bit more uncertain now. I want to get those 2, so I'm going to assume that's what he's going to aim at. Let's see what I've got to spend next turn. 3 cash, so that would be ideal. Well, we'll see. It's his go now.
Alright, so that's turn 2, and Ravnica has done a thing that I didn't necessarily hope he would do, but which is still better than the alternative, which is get the, space station base. I would have liked to have the space station base because it has some really good synergy with the recycling station, because the recycling station triggers the space station's ally bonus, and both of them combined are 8 points of outpost defense, which is really difficult to punch through. That said, with him playing the way he played, I am capable of getting the missile bot, and I could also either get 2 Imperial Fighters or the Federation shuttle and an Imperial Fighter. Let's see. I know that Ravnica has 1 Federation shuttle already, and I'd really prefer him not to get it. On the other hand, maybe the Imperial Fighters are good for me. I'll just get the Federation shuttle just so Ravnica can get his hands on it, and also because there's some expensive cards here. There may be more expensive cards later, and the Federation shuttle is pretty good for that. Also, I like blue as a color, but we'll get more into that if I manage to get some more blue cards. So that's that. Another poke at Ravnica. And back to him.
And back to me. Missile bot. Imperial Fighter and the other thing. That is not convenient. I'm going to grab the Imperial Fighter. And the missile bot. Okay. Really not sure what he'll buy. Possibly the battle pod. Possibly explorers. Yep. Well, over to Jareth now. I will buy the command ship if it's still available.
Alright, turn 3. Let's see what we get. Ravnica takes a missile bot, and I get basically a default hand. Yay. I could have gotten any of my really cool cards, and I didn't. Alright, so what do we want to do here? I could either go for the battle pod, but I don't really have any blob in my deck, and there's a bunch of very expensive cards out, so what I'm going to do instead is get 2 explorers. Poke around for 1 damage again, and that is it again. Ah, finally, something cool.
My turn. What 2 of those? So, as I said last time, I am getting the command ship. Command ship is awesome because it gives me damage, it gives me health, and it lets me draw 2 cards. And as an added bonus, if he has any bases, and I draw one, and I draw another blue card, which is more likely as a result of it giving me 2 draw, then I also can destroy one of his bases for free. It's a really good deal, especially at this stage of the game. I have just lost my ability to put down as much money. Probably going to need to spend some coins on explorers, or trade pods. I'm not entirely sure what he will do this turn because I don't know what he will have in hand. That's pretty good. Alright. Well, over to Jarenth.
Alright, turn 4. Bah. Bah. I was honestly kind of afraid that would happen, because that is the kind of move that I would have made in that situation. Trading Space Station for the command ship, I call it command boat, is really, really clever. On my end of the field, I have, let's see, what was I going for again? I basically have every color, which is not particularly good, except green, and the only things that are on the field that I can reasonably get are green. Still, I do like blob, so let's scrap this fantastically scout, play everything else, and then just get the battle pod and the trade pod. And now MechWorld is on the field, and there's a decent chance that Ranico will be able to buy it, which I don't like. If he gets MechWorld and Command Boat, then my prospects of victory are not good. On the upside, I finally get my Star Empire cards, so that should help. Let's see if I can make something out of this next turn, and let's see if Ranico actually gets that MechWorld.
And my turn. What did Jarenth do? Scrapped a scout. So thinned his deck, bought a battle pod. That'll serve him fairly well. Okay. So, the command ship doing its awesome thing. Healing me, drawing 2 cards. And then I'm just going to do damage because I don't actually have much money this turn. That's a pity. Oh well, I'm going to buy an explorer then. As you do when you don't have enough money. But I have also gotten a bit further on the damage curve, which is nice. Okay, so Jarenth is now on 31. He could have anything in his hand, he just cycled his deck. So I'm not even going to try and make a prediction. I suspect he will get one of the lower cost cards, because I doubt he will have enough to get one of the 7 cost ones, but who knows? He could have better luck than I did. And my next turn, I'm probably going to aim for the Patrol Mech or Mech World. I can't afford any of the others. It'll depend on whether or not I'm forced to discard and what he buys. Mech World is really handy because it makes all factions ally powers, which are the things with the symbol next to them, activate, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Ranico has the command ship, which is the incredibly powerful card. This is not going exactly the way I planned it, but let's see if I get lucky with the recycling station. Come on. That's not lucky. It's the opposite of lucky. Still, 4 damage and 1 explorer, I guess. Yay. Best turn. Alright, this is slightly better, but let's hope that he doesn't steal all the good stuff before I can get to it.
Okay, my turn. What's Jareth done? Recycling station, making me discard. And a scout. So let me just quickly check. I kind of wanted Mech World, but I'm not going to get it. I'm going to grab Patrol Mech. I discard the scout. And I can scrap my last Viper. I think it's my last Viper. Check that. Nope, not my last Viper. But yep, and that leaves me with 4. Just enough to get the Patrol Mech. Can't do any damage past his recycling station because it's got a black shield, so I have to attack it, not him. So that's my turn. He could have a fair number of things. He'll probably hit me for a reasonable amount of damage. And yeah. Next turn, I'm going to have at least, well, let's find out what I got next turn. Let's not speculate, let's actually draw. So I got 5 at the moment. I may be able to buy Mech World, which is what I'm kind of aiming for. If I can't buy Mech World, then I'll probably buy some Explorers. And I still can't take out his recycling station. It's really annoying that he's going to get the benefit from that for that long. But there's only so much you can do. And hopefully I get a better draw next turn. Over to Jareth.
Alright, that's not as bad as I expected. I get to keep my recycling station, that's always nice. And I have a shit ton of trade, which I need to figure out what to do with. I only really have Blob, and I can get up to 7 trade with this, which would be enough for the mothership at least. That would be good. But on the other hand, Mech World is really one of the best cards in the game, and I can get it, so I should really get it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, well, that Blob Fighter is a good investment for that one trade, given how much Blob I already have. So yeah, I'll get that one too. And then for the last one, I can either get one trade from the recycling station and then waste it, or I can try to cycle that one Viper and then hopefully get the trade pod, because if I do that, let's see if I'm lucky. Yes! Ha! That is lucky. Because with that trade I can also get this battle pod. I'm just scrapping the Explorers, because Explorers are basically like unguided missiles. You use them once, you buy stuff with them, and then you just burn them down. And then use this missile bot to destroy, let's see, probably just a scout. And then that's 6 damage to Ranico. Oh, that is actually not a bad turn.
Nice. Sure got a lot of cash that round. I'm going to pick up that Patrol Mech with my 5 cash. And that Blob Fighter. Perfect. So, what do I have left? Well, I can't do enough damage to take it out. I'll just, even by sacrificing the Explorer. Okay, this turn I can take out his recycling station and destroy things. Still haven't drawn the bits that I really would like. Knowing my luck, I'm not going to get the command ship until after I've cycled the deck. That's a pity. Alright, well, things are getting a bit more even. I have no idea what Jareth is going to buy. He's just cycled his deck, so he's got anything he could possibly want. But yeah, over to him.
Oh wow, I get to keep my recycling station for another turn. That is rare and also unexpected. Alright, let's see if I can put it to good use. I will probably... Let's see what I have. A whole bunch of good cards. Yeah, I'll probably cycle the Viper and a scout in hopes of maybe getting very lucky with either Mech World or a trade pod again. See if I can buy something more expensive. Alright, well, this is alright. Let's see. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, there's another recycling station on the field, and if there's one thing better than one recycling station, it's two recycling stations. So I could either destroy it with the battle pod or buy it for myself. Now, as you can see, I bought it for myself. And then using the battle pod's ability, I can scrap something that I don't want Ranico to have. Let's see. I think that I would primarily like for him to not be able to get this central office because of all the blue that he's already packing. And of course, let's see what I get there. Well, see, this was a good move, and simultaneously I got unlucky on the draw, because the cutter that's right there is one of the strongest cards in the game, in my humble opinion. Like, it has ridiculous authority and trade, and very high damage if you're playing a blue deck, which Ranico is doing. So he'll probably get that cutter, and then I'll regret playing this, but whatever. Scrap another scout. Ranico face again for 9. So I'm actually leading a little bit, which is not bad. For 11, sorry, I'm bad at counting. Even though the game displays the numbers right there. And then hope that he doesn't destroy me in a single turn next time. That would be good.
Okay, my turn. Cycle 2 cards. Do a bunch of cards. Hit me for 4. Hit me for 9. Hit me for 11. Scrapped a card. Ow. That was rude. Just for that. No more recycling station, and you have to discard a card. You've managed to cycle your deck again, haven't you? Basically. Oh no, he's halfway through. Okay, so I get my 5 cards, none of which give me a faction bonus. I can do either 8 damage, 4 buy, or 7 buy. That's what I'm aiming for. We'll see what we get. I was right, command ship is right at the bottom. Of course it is. Perfect. But, oh well, I'll cope. Now over to Jareth.
Oh, my recycling station. Damn you, Ranico. Oh, and I have to discard 2. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna discard the Imperial Fighter. Just because I want this mothership. There we go, I can still do 2 damage and laugh at him. Oh, that's not bad.
Okay, my turn. Got the mothership. Okay, so I got 4. I can have 7, or I can have 4 and 5 damage. I don't really want anything that I can buy with 4. I'm gonna get 1 blue. I think I'm gonna grab the battle cruiser. Although the trade escort is pretty tempting, I will give you that. Alright, I'm gonna go with the trade escort, because then I can also buy one of these. Hit him for 3. And now, what have I got? Got command ship. Now I draw all of that. Cool. So, next turn I can hit him for... I can hit Jareth for 13 and scrap that, and then plus 2 more cards. So that's pretty good. We'll see how we go. Jareth can have literally anything in his deck. He's got nothing in the discard pile. I don't have anything I'm going to try and buy? Yeah, let's see how we go. Over to Jareth.
Well, I'm doing well as far as authority is concerned, and somewhat poorly as far as Ranico's deck is concerned. Ouch. Command ship, cutter, trade escort, 2 patrol mechs. That is not something that I like facing. Whereas mine is decent, though I should get some more blob. But hey, look at who has the blob that I would have wanted. Luckily, I can at least get some pointless, stupid bullshit. I'm going to destroy the machine base in the hope that something cheap pops up. Good enough. I might just be able to win this through sheer force of power, because Ranico doesn't have any bases. So if he pulls command ship and cutter and trade escort all at the same time, of course I'm gonna get punished and he's gonna get healthy. But I have Mech World, and in a few turns I'm gonna have 2 recycling stations, and those should help keep his assault off my back while I try my best to kill him. So let's see if it actually plays out that way.
And it's my turn. Ow, that was rude. That was not really the overall goal of that card. But on the other hand, I get, oh, wait a second. Command ship can destroy my world. Meaning I can do this 30 damage straight to his face. 4 is not enough. I probably should have thought about that before scrapping that card. Don't want to buy anything, so I won't. And it'll say, hey, it's helpful that it gives you these warnings, but I'm confident enough to ignore it. I won't get to use the secondary abilities of any of these, but I've got 7, so I can buy the battle cruiser if Jaron doesn't, and hit him for 3. Or if he plays base, I've got 4, which is not enough to do anything. So hopefully he doesn't buy the battle cruiser. I might buy the hive otherwise. Don't actually have many green cards though. The hive is not a great buy. Junkyard maybe. We'll see. Over to Jaron.
Yeah. See? That was afraid. Well, at least the Mech World did what the Mech World was supposed to be doing. And discard a card too. I don't see myself buying a lot of cards this turn. I can cycle, maybe get another recycling station, or maybe get something interesting, but if I get a blob fighter and no other blob, will be super disappointed. So instead, let's just not do anything with my recycling station this turn. Instead, just Ranico friend. And then hope that my next hand will include at least the mothership and the blob fighter. That'll be good. Yes, I know recycling station still has unused abilities. I am choosing to not use it. Well, could be better, could be worse.
And back to me. So, cycle, make me discard 1 like a jerk. Not enough to stop me from getting battle cruiser. Though not being able to take out recycling station is a problem. Ooh, I think I'm down for the count. That's a lot of damage. We'll find out. Alright. Okay, over to Jaron.
Alright, let's see if I'm lucky. That looks like lucky. Oh, this should be good. Recycle 2 scouts, and I get nice trade pod, blob fighter 4. The mothership. Is there anything I want from this? Let's see, I have a lot of cards. So no, I'll just do mothership. Doop doop. Mech World. Imperial frigates. Draw a card with the Imperial Frigate. Cycle those cards with the other recycling station. Play all that mess. Yeah, I'm just being a jerk at this point. So up as quickly as possible. As greatly as possible, even. And boom! Haha! Victory! So yeah, this game, if nothing else, illustrates the amazing power of the blob and the recycling stations. It honestly could have gone either way. As you can see from the life totals, if Ranico had a better turn than I had, it just would have ended right there. But that's the magic of Star Realms. Every game is different. While playing this game, which went pretty close, I've also played a game where I ended with 72 authority over -10. I've ended a game where I lost to like -20. I just ended the game where I killed the opponent with exactly the amount of life left, whereas I had something like 30, with different strategies and different cards, and it's just, I'm pretty sure Ranico and I could do like 10 of these diaries and have different reasonings and different strategies every time. And maybe we will. I'll let him have the final word on it.
Okay, so I don't normally actually look at these things. I normally just hit the rematch button and keep going. In general, I'm pretty sure I know why I lost before, without actually needing to see the last turn. But I feel I should probably do this for the completion of the video anyway. But yeah, so recycles a couple of things, pulls out a lot of blob cards, which was basically all that was left in the deck, and then yeah, just goes through, and I've already lost by this point. It's just a matter of going through and winning in as showy a fashion as possible, which I can't object to. I do that all the time. Despite the fact that, given that I don't watch the last turn, it's really unlikely that my opponent is watching the last turn as well. Like, looking back on the game, in terms of mistakes that I made, I don't know that there are many that I wouldn't make again. I kept thinking that I had a little bit more blob than I did. I mean, in the end, I only got 2 blob fighters, and this is a problem of an asymmetric game that, asynchronous, not asymmetric game, that takes place over the course of, a week or two. It really can be a case of just you forget what you've got. You can always check what cards you have and what cards your opponent has, which is helpful, but you can't actually check like what order your opponent played in. You can't go back and rewatch the game, which I get to because I'm the one editing this together. So, any issues with sound and that kind of thing are my fault. Yeah, so I think if I were to do this again, I probably would have avoided buying the blob fighters, but then Jarrett would have had them, which would have been worse, probably. Other things, there was one point where I used a Patron Black to buy when I should have probably just punched in last turn. If I had taken out one of his recycling stations, then I'm pretty sure I still would have lost anyway, but he wouldn't have been able to go as far. And yeah, in general, I need to buy more stations. But I don't know, it's just that ships are so much better than stations in most situations beyond forming a shield. So, yeah. We will see if we do this again in future. I had fun. It's just a bit... the only downside is I need to make sure that I don't play this game against Jareth, except on my computer. Because this game also runs on Android, and probably iOS. I haven't checked. It's not really relevant to me. And so, it's the kind of thing that I play on the bus, and I play while I'm doing shopping, and that kind of thing. I'm one of those obnoxious people that will stop and stand there for a moment while I play a game. So, yeah. All I want to say is good game, Jareth, and I had fun, and maybe we'll do this again sometime.